grateful for that indeed. And she finds time on every Wednesdays and comes on the airwaves to speak to all of you here. So once again, if you have any questions regarding employment or family-based immigration matters, family law, corporate law, civil matters, do give us a call, 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. Ahluwalialaw.com is the website where you will get all the information about, her services that she provides. And we want you all to go through it well so that you're aware of the services that you can get, and you can get in touch with her beyond the show, and she will be more than happy. The free consultations are available only on Phanisha Radio 104.9 FM, and once again, always grateful for that, Pallavi. Good morning to you, Pallavi. How are you doing?
A wonderful morning to you, Meetu. Thank you again for hosting me every Wednesday with your business matters. We're here for our community and to be able to answer questions for them. And I know we do have a lot of callers that line up. And we thank you for the participation, especially when you come on the air and ask your question. It does help a lot of other people that may have similar questions but don't ask them on the air. So thank you for that. But did want to start out, Meetu, by just announcing the SB4, which is the Texas newly introduced law, which will go into effect from September 1st, which is basically check your papers law, which means that any cop, if at any detention, if they were to stop you for, even a traffic stop, can detain you for and ask you for your papers. So if you are a green card holder, you have to understand that your green card cannot be in the locker. It cannot be at home. It has to be on your person. Please have it with you. And now, as we are part of immigrant communities here and do look different, just be prepared for a little bit of racial profiling. I don't know the extent of it and how long this law would be allowed to go forward unchallenged. But if it is unchallenged, then you'll be prepared to have maybe the first page of your passport if you're U.S. citizens, and in your wallet. If you don't have a passport and you're a U.S. citizen, then just have a copy of your birth certificate. Just have it in your wallet, have it in your purse, in your bag somewhere. So if you're stopped and you're asked to present your papers, you do have something and you don't have to prove that you are a U.S. citizen. This is a very, very unfair policy, as you can see. I mean, talking about it makes me upset, but I'm sure it's going to meet its challenge in courts, and I hope that it is shut down.
Great. That's a good suggestion there, Pallavi. And yes, everybody keep it with you, the green cards along with you. Anything else that you would like to share with your listeners at this point of time?
No, at this point, just be aware of what's going on. Keep up with the news. We should have a blog that should be going up shortly on our website too, which is .desilaw.com. And just keep up with that. Follow us on Twitter because I do post updates there as well.
That's great to know. Ahluwalialaw.com is the website where you can find that. So let's start taking calls. 972-235-5555. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Going to our callers. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hey Pallavi, my name is Kumar. I work with a company A. That H1 was valid till November 2017. Then I moved to company B on 2016, and company B filed my I-140 extension and H1 extension. My H1 got denied yesterday, and I'm out of status now. And my company want to refile again H1 again extension. If they file it and I want to know how many days I can be in this country, because my previous employer H1 was valid till November 2017, and I-94 is also valid till November 2017. So if my H1 is applied, can I be in this country till my I-94 or 60 days I have to leave?
Okay, so here is where the interesting part is. Was that first H-1B withdrawn by your employer? Did the employer file a termination with USCIS and tell them that you're no longer with them?
Yes, they withdrew it.
Okay. So then at this
because I left the company.
From the denial, you can't actually file for an extension of stay. Okay? So once you've been denied, then the only option that the company will now have is to file your H-1B again, but it will have to be marked as counsel processing. You'll have to step out because the moment you have a denial and you don't have the underlying status, then there is no option to stay back here. Okay. Now, we're hearing that, of course, we all know that premium processing is out, but we're hearing that the government sometimes is processing cases fast. So you may be fine, and I mean, if you are just awaiting the adjudication, you have to understand that if you are pulled over, and we just talked about the SB4, even though it goes into effect on the 1st of September, I know that the officers are going to be checking papers for everyone. You may not have an I-94 to be able to rely on. All right, so be aware of that. And the safest route here would be for you to wait outside, get your H-1B approved, go consular processing, and then enter the country.
Okay. What about the I-94 from my previous employer, that H-1 withdrawn? Once H-1 is withdrawn, even the I-94 is withdrawn?
Yeah. So it's just that the CBP does not know that, but that doesn't mean that it's valid. It's not valid anymore.
Okay. Oh, okay. So how soon I have to leave this country? Like I have 60 days of grace period, or I can stay till 180 days? Before 180 days, I have to leave.
We don't advise either way. For us, from the time you lose status, there is no grace period that's given. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, immediately, as soon as you are done, if, for example, ICE were to find you tomorrow, they can deport you. Okay, so there is not a grace period you can rely on. Now let's go to another kind of argument that exists, which is if it is that you leave in a month or 2 months and you are not put into deportation proceedings, those 2 months will not be held against you as long as they were under 180 days. So there is a difference in the interpretation. So the first point being, from the date of a denial, you've lost status. And there is not a legal grace period. All right?
All right.
Yes. So if right now, if I file an H-1 immediately today, even I cannot start working?
No, you cannot. From a denial, there is no option to extend stay.
Okay.
All right? All the best.
Good luck to you. Thank you for your question. But yes, as always, do want to remind our listeners here who are trying to reach Pallavi at this point, please keep your questions brief because the community is trying to reach Pallavi this 30-minute segment that she does with you all. It's a service that she's providing and many people try to reach her at this point of time. So please keep it brief. That's our humble request. 972-235-5555. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air.
Yes, I want to talk to Ms. Pallavi and ask a question on my citizenship. I had my fingerprint done on my citizenship in December, and the online status says that my interview is in line, but I haven't received the interview as yet. It's been almost 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, you're not meant to, and we announce that quite often here on the air as well. It takes about 8 to 9 months, even up to 10 months before naturalization gets approved and the interview is set up. So you're in line, which means they're still checking your background, and once the background comes clear, then you will be queued up for an interview.
So normally it takes around 6 to 8 months now?
Correct.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. Going on to our next caller. Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi. Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question. All right. Looks like we can't hear that call. Well, call us back. 972-235-5555. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, good morning. Thanks to Mito and Pallavi for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question. My green card is in first week of August. Hello? All right. Yes, go ahead. And I've applied for my citizenship. I finished my biometrics end of March. Is it a good idea for me to travel to India? When do you return? I'm planning to go in July and coming back in first week of August. Yeah, so if it's right before their green card expires, it's fine, but I would be cautious and get the green card extended as well.
Oh, okay.
Because you're just putting yourself in an odd situation. If you were to have anything that resets your travel plans even by a little bit and your green card expires, you will not be allowed entry into the country.
Oh, okay. Even with my biometrics done, I cannot.
It has no value. It has no value. Not at CBP.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's not proof of status. Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Pallavi.
Thank you for your call. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Going to our next caller, Fanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, Pallavi. My question is, my parents are visiting my brother in the U.S. from India, and their visa expires on June 28th, so it's an absolute 6-month visa that was approved for them. They would like to apply for extension because their son is going through a painful divorce. And in the current immigration system, I wasn't sure how to approach this, like whom to approach for applying for their immigration extension, visa extension, and also would it be appropriate to give them the real reason as to what their son is going through and hence they want to stay a few months longer. So could you please guide me? Thank you. It has to be done with the USCIS. It requires 3 things to be shown. The primary ones are the fact that they will return back to the home country because they have emotional ties back to the home country as well as they have the financial ability in the home country, so which means that they're not going to stay back here. And number 3, the reason for their stay. Though you can bring forth the fact that there is a divorce pending, I would not rely on that completely as a reason. I would still keep the reason because of the divorce they've not been able to travel or things to that nature, if that's true, and then make an argument based on that. A case like that should not be applied for both the parents on 1539 because if one is denied, both will be denied. They should be filed 2 separate forms, and then affidavits, property papers, other documents should also be included. So these are filings usually that either people do or hire attorneys for. And if they do that, then you have to make sure that you have a good application because if this extension gets denied, the visitor visa in itself will also be denied. Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for your call. Going on to our next caller, Fanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Hi, my mama, she got a naturalization already, but she got it before I was 18. And right now I'm 20, so I was wondering if I had to fill out the N400 or the N600.
If she got it after you were 18, then you'll have to go through your own N400 process.
But she got it before I was 18, so now I'm 20.
Okay, so she was naturalized and you were not yet 18, then yes, you have derived citizenship through her, and because of that you would not be filing an N400, it would be an N600.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. Going to our next caller, Fanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Please ask your question to Pallavi.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, I'm on H-1B visa and I have a question, like, can I invest in something, like in business?
Yeah, so if you're investing in a business and you're tuned out from managing it or running it, you're just a shareholder that draws profits from it, you're allowed to do that as an H-1B.
Okay. I mean, like, invest in, some gas station, convenience store and just run by an employee.
Yeah, so you can't be showing up there and managing it.
Oh, I cannot?
Own it, no, you cannot. You're not allowed to. You can be a shareholder, like I said, not a manager.
Okay, but I not invest, right?
You are allowed to invest as an investor, but if you have to go to the route of owning a business and managing it, then you have to go through an entrepreneurial H-1B. For a gas station, that is not advised. It has to be related to the profession that you're here on an H-1B for. So, say, for example, a dentist can start their own practice and work as a dentist in that practice and own that practice as well, as long as they need the right to control. Okay? But a dentist can't start off a gas station, manage it, and have no issue with it. They will have trouble with it.
Okay. So I can just only be investor, right?
and somebody can be managed and run the business.
Yeah. So no email, no showing up at the store, nothing that puts you there.
Yeah. I mean, and is it possible if I can owning some licenses on my name? Like
Yeah,
business
that managing it. No. Answer is no.
Okay, all right. And my second question.
Troubled.
Okay, second question is when can I start my green card process? I'm since 1 year on H1B.
So it depends on whatever the policy of your employer is. I mean, when could be as early as now. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I thought it's there are some criteria I have to be qualified for.
No, so it depends on what your degrees are and what category you want to file for. So the question may not be complete right now. So if you're qualified, you have a master's degree, then you are qualified to even apply right now. Right? If you have a bachelor's degree and no experience, then and you want to go into the EB2, then you have to wait 5 years. If you are a bachelor's degree and want to go EB3, you're eligible to file right now. So there are different answers to that same question.
I have a 2 bachelor's degree and I have a 3 years of experience.
EB3.
So EB3 or EB2?
EB3.
3, right?
Yes, you're EB3. Yes. So 3 years of experience, even if it's 2 bachelors, will not help. It will still keep you as an EB.
Okay.
4 years bachelor plus 5 years of progressive experience, that gets you into EB2.
Okay. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you so much for your call. Going on to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, my question is regarding I-94 extension. So my current I-94 is expiring next week, which is also the date of my expiration of the old passport. Now, a few months ago, I renewed my passport and I have a valid H1B for 2018. And I'm trying to get my I-94 extended. So I was informed by a CBP officer that I have to cross the country, like either go to Mexico, Canada, or Caribbean. So I just was wondering that is this the solution? Like, can I go across the border and then come back and I should get it within the same day?
Yes, absolutely. So that's the best way to extend the I-94. You would go with your approval notice, you'd step out and re-enter, and then you would be given the validity of your approval or your and not the end of your passport date.
Okay, so what will be the documents that I'll need to carry with me?
Your approval notice, of course your passport, a few pay stubs, a letter of employment from your employer saying you're coming back to work there, and that should do.
Okay, and there was just a small confusion about one of the CBP officer telling me that you have to, if you go to Mexico, you have to stay there for 30 days. Is that really true?
No.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
You can make a short trip and come back. This is...
you mean by short trip by same day, right?
Yeah, you can even come back the same day. This is called automatic visa revalidation. Just check that.
Okay.
It's in a Department of State provision, and that allows people to get their I-94s extended by stepping out to contiguous territories.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you for your call. Going on to our next caller. Probably our last. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Well, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, actually I'm not able to decide when to file a green card for my wife. The current situation is that we are expecting a baby in the month of September, and she's going to complete her 6 years in November 2019. So we can file it. Shall we start the process now and submit all the documents, or should we file it when she returns back after the delivery of 3 months? Like September has a delivery and then she returns back in maybe December. So should we file that time? It would be too late, or we should start the process now? And if we start the process now, if we got in between some more documents been asked, then we would not be in project at that time. So will it cause issues?
So let's go over the question really quick. Thank you for the question. But let's just examine it. The green card is a future the employment offer made by the employer. It is not meant to be guided by the employee. That's number one. It depends on the desires of the employer. Now, because it's in the future, you don't have to show present project work that's available, but there should be an intention on part of the employer to hire the employee. That's a requirement, right? So as long as there's future intent to hire the employee on a permanent basis, the process can be sorted out. Either you can start it now or later. It does not matter. In terms of whether she has adequate time to be able to get her extension, as long as she has her application filed 365 days prior to the running out of her H-1B, she can use that to get her extension. She should be fine. So the call would depend on the employer and whether the employer is willing to go through while she is on vacation. Now, the requirement of showing present project work does not exist at this point.
All right.
All the best.
Thank you so much for your calls. And Pallavi, that's about it. We don't have enough time to take another call, but we do have time to share once again all the information. Ahluwalialaw.com is the website to go to and find out more about their firm, their services, and everything else that you want to know. 972-361-0606 is the number to call for the private consultation that you are seeking. We all do want to thank Pallavi for the community service that she provides on Phanisha Radio 104.9 FM. Free time for all of you that she provides here on Phanisha Radio 104.9 FM. Thank you so much, Pallavi, for this once again.
Thank you so much, Meetu, for hosting me. A pleasure being here every Wednesday, and I look forward to being back next week.
Perfect.